It's February 17th here in south central Nebraska. Today's high is somewhere around 78 or 79. I'm wearing shorts. I just feel like celebrating the warm weather, which I know is going to come to a crashing end soon. But it's got me excited to start some seeds. I'm going to start some peppers. Why so early? Well, some of these peppers take a long time to mature, particularly the hot ones. So I want to give them enough time to be mature by the time I put them out, and I'll have the best chance of getting a good yield. I'm going to stick with some of my tried and true, the ones that I found success with in the past few years. And I'm going to do an experiment this year where I'm going to take a few of my overwintered peppers and plant the same variety in seed and compare how they do side by side through the year. See if one outpaces the other. I have a real problem here, I have to confess. I have a kind of a seed addiction. So not only do I have a lot of seeds that I've purchased, but I'm a seed saver. So I have mini seeds that I've saved from plants of mine, that from some of the best specimens I collected. I'm going to grow at least 36 peppers, but I have a lot of room for peppers. I grow them in pots over here at my capsaicin corner. I grow them in these beds, and I just like peppers too much. I can't, I use them for so many different things. I use them fresh. I dry them. I smoke them and dry them. I roast them like your Anaheims and some of your roasting peppers, Italian roasting peppers. I make a lot of hot sauces. I make salsas. I would say of all the vegetables that I've grown, I probably utilize peppers more than anything. Last year I made a mistake. I started a little later than this, but I made the mistake of starting my peppers and my tomatoes at the same time. And as some of you that are gardeners would probably know, my tomatoes way outpaced my peppers. So by the time it came to put the tomatoes in, I had tomatoes that were over 2 feet tall. And I'm not going to make that mistake again, because trying to keep those growing, up potting them, and finding space for all of them can be a real pain. You know, a lot of these peppers are like 80 days to maturity, and that's when you start getting fruit from them. So I want to make sure to get as much of that 80 days in first, so that when midsummer comes, I have plenty of harvest time. So with this in mind, and the amount of seeds I have to make a decision. Which peppers do I want to grow? Well, I like growing hot peppers. I like growing all varieties. So I'm going to have a variety of hot, medium, mild peppers. The ones that did really well for me, I want to continue growing those. Then I want to do my experiment where I take some of my overwintered peppers and start seeds from that same variety and see how they compare when they grow. So I'm growing these different varieties for different reasons. Some of them I like to make into powders. Some of them I like to make into sauces or hot sauce. And a lot of them I like to use fresh. So I'll have a variety, and I use them all in different ways. I also have seeds from this plant. This was my 3-year-old habanero I was overwintering. This was going to be its 4th year, and it didn't make it. So unfortunately, I have to ditch this one, but I'm going to plant the seeds from it, and its offspring will live on. So I'm going to do that. So that'll be one of my save seeds I grow. I like to grow a lot of my save seeds again, because I'm trying to establish plants that do well in my environment where I grow them. Some examples of what I'm going to grow this year: I'm going to grow some cayenne. Enjoy cayenne peppers. Some orange habaneros. I'm going to grow some, my wife likes these, so she doesn't like the heat, but the habanadas look like a habanero, but you can fool people with those. They're sweet, like a sweet pepper. I'm going to grow some Tabasco. I'm going to grow the shishito, which is a neat little pepper, a frying pepper, Japanese pepper. A lot of people are enjoying this one now. giant Marconis, one of my favorites, my seeds and packet seeds. I'm growing a couple of other varieties of jalapenos. I grew these last year, orange and lemon. I don't know if they taste much different than a regular jalapeno. I didn't get into that much depth on flavor wise, but I enjoyed the different color variations, kind of fun. Growing an orange bell pepper, coral bell. Another one of my favorite Anaheims. Different types of Anaheims I'm growing. Basic Anaheim types like Big Jim, Giant Marconi. I've had good luck with the Santa Fe Grande. Really prolific little plant. Peppers are semi-hot, and they're maybe not as flavorful as a jalapeno, but they're really prolific, and make some hot sauces out of them. Another type of green pepper I'm growing is the California Wonder. Does well for me here. I had good luck with them last year. This is a neat little pepper. The Fresno pepper, really pretty little pepper. Another one of those Anaheim type I like to grow is the New Mexico Joe Parker. I'm doing my seeds and the packet seeds. Big Jim is another Anaheim type pepper. Really grows a nice big pretty pepper. I enjoyed these last year. I grew the Big Jim, Giant Marconis, Anaheim, all of them kind of close together. And I'm telling you, it was hard to tell the difference if you didn't look at the tags. I'm growing the Jimmy Nardello. I love the Jimmy Nardello. It's one of the sweetest peppers I've ever eaten, and pretty pepper too. It looks like it would be hot, but it's not. I'm growing seed packet seeds and some of my seeds. And this is the Chili de Arbo, the one I'm like this one right here. A copy of this one. We'll see which one, how they do, if the seed can catch up to the plant. Same thing with the Cubanelle. Here's the Cubanelle. We'll see if how that race goes. And your typical jalapeno. I'm doing my seeds and packet seeds. I'll have several plants. I'll have the red and I'll have the lemon, the pumpkin, the regular, and my seeds. So I'm using this Burpee seed starting tray. Pretty neat tray. They don't come with humidity domes, but that's okay for me because I don't really like to use them past when the seedlings emerge. I don't want to, I like them to get air after that. Because they're well built, they'll last year after year, and they have the silicone bottoms so you can push the plants out through the bottom. And that's handy when it comes time to take them out. So I've got 36. I'm going to plant one of each variety in each cell, and probably put a couple of seeds of each variety in each cell. I like to use this called Coast of Maine soil. I found it. I'm not sponsored or anything like that, but I found it's a nice, I think it's nice. I like it. Got it through Amazon. I'll leave links below to any of these products that I'm using. So I'm going to put this soil medium in here. I'll take this out of here so it doesn't get into the bottom. And just fill the trays. That's another reason I like to do this outside, so I don't have to be clean. Worry about getting it all over the table or good. Spilled half of it out. And I want to push down on it a little bit, get some of the air out. Not too hard, just sometimes one doesn't get filled as much as the others, and this is when you kind of find out, like that one. All right, we're ready. Yeah, there we go. I've got everything labeled. Got them ready to apply the seeds. I'm going to put probably 2 to 3 seeds per cell. What I'm going to do is just put a little indentation into each one. The seeds don't have to be deep. Oh, there's a chunk. Look for some good seeds. Yeah. Yeah, 3 should be enough. I want to make sure I get good germination, so look like good seeds. They're gonna go right here. Well, let's put 3 in there. I'll put a couple of these back. I'm just gonna cover them up with about the same depth of soil that those seeds are big. I'll finish filling these cells and we'll get back and water it in when I'm done. So there it is. Those are my peppers for the year in on February 17th. These I'll continue to take care of, and I better pull these peppers off actually. I've heard that they do a lot better if you, this is drawing away from the plant and putting all the energy into the pepper, so I'll probably pull those. It was just fun in February to see a pepper. From here, I'm going to put them under a grow light and put a heat mat under them. Peppers enjoy having warm feet, so I'm going to warm the soil with a heat mat. So that's it. That's the pepper varieties going in this year. I'll distribute them between probably this bed or that bed, and actually that bed had the peppers last year. I'll probably put them in this bed, and I have my capsaicin corner, which probably holds 12 different varieties or so. So I've got quite a bit of space for peppers, and I do put some by my back door also. So I've got a lot of room for peppers, and I love growing peppers. I use them all the time. I'd be interested to hear what kind of peppers you like to grow, and if you've ever tried to overwinter your peppers and the success you've had. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. I just planted the way I always do and tried to film it. It was a little awkward, especially outside with the wind the way it was today. And a front came through right as I was filming. I started out in shorts. I'm wearing sweats now, and it's what happens. It's spring. It's not even spring yet. It's actually winter. So I'm lucky that I'm out here now as it is. I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you come back. Take care. My name's Dennis. See ya.